Morning, Walter.
Hello, Mario.
How are you?
They're next door, they're constructing, they're busy jackhammering next to me over here. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm moving out of here.
Okay.
How are you?
Good. Good.
How's business? Okay.
Good. Oh, Mr. Alange. Good morning.
Boker Tov, Boker Tov.
Morning, Ernie.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How you feeling, Ernie?
Thank God, every day better. Thank God, every day better.
Ernie, how are you?
Hello, Walter.
Bush Schlemer.
Much better. Thank God. We're on Dalet Amud Beis. So we asked why do we move up the laning in the villages to the 11th, to the 12th, to the 13th, in order for them to be available to provide mayim v'mazon to the krachim. That's what the Gemara said. So l'meimer de takana de krachim avi. So it comes out that the takana was for the benefit of the krachim, because so they would be free to provide the meals so that the people in the krachim have a Purim Suda. The Gemara is going to attack that, not none. Chaliyos b'sheni. Purim falls on Monday. So kfarim va'ayaros, gedoylos korim babayom. The villages, the big cities, read Monday. Now, the thing is, if you need the availability of the people in the villages to provide the food for the krachim, well, the Ayaras Gedolos need it as well. So why should the people in the Kfarim read that day? They should be magdim to read it maybe the previous Thursday. V'yamisa ligdim l'yom haknisa. They should have laid it on the previous Thursday, so they're free on Monday to provide services to the Ayaras Gedolos. The Gemara says that can't work because Havalu Asara, that ends up being the 10th of Adar. Vasar lo takina Rabbanon. The earliest day that the Rabbanon were Mesakim was the 11th, not the 10th. Toshma, Chalios B'chamishi, if Yud Dalid Adar falls on Thursday, so Kfarim V'Ayaras Gedoylo is Korim Bo Bayom. The villages and the big cities read that day, and of course, the Mukefes Chomer will read Friday. Again, the Gemara asks, the Im Isa, if this svar is correct, Likdimul Yom HaKnisa, they should have advanced, the Kfarim should lay in the Megillah on Monday, which is Dachar Asarhu. And for the Gemara, Yom HaKnisa lo dachinon. To go from one Yom HaKnisa to another Yom HaKnisa, they don't push. It'll come to a mistake. People will make an error, say the Rishonim. Toshma, Rav Yehuda. Amasai. When were these dinim about moving these dates up? Bimkom shenichnosim b'sheni v'chamishi. That's when they had a formal market day, Monday and Thursdays, where people came in, sold their markets. There was a Yom HaKnisa. But when that minig falls away, in Korino saw Ela Bizmana, even the Kfarim read on Yud Daled. Now the Isal Gedaitich Takonta de Krachim, that the purpose of the Hakdama was to satisfy that people in the big cities would have food and drink, Purim. So why is it Mishum De'enich Nosim B'Shem V'Chamishim Mefastu Lo L'Krachim? because there is no more market day, we have the Krachim have a problem getting food. So the Gemara now changes its mind. Lo tema kadeshi yisapku maimu mazon alaema medesha misapkin maimu mazon lachem shebekrachim. This is a benefit for the villagers. The villagers make money. This is not a benefit for the krachim that they get things. This gives them the reason why the kfarim are magdim to a different day is to give them the opportunity so that they won't lose their parnasa. Because normally that's what they do. If they had to read Megillah on that day, they wouldn't be able to provide those services and they would lose money. So it's not a takana for the krach, it's a takana for the people who live in the kfarim. That's how the Gemara ends up now. Chalios Berev Shabbos. So the Mishnah said, I'm Susie. Ketzad chal lios b'sheni b'Shabbos kfarim vayoros gdolos korim b'bayom. Ketzad chal lios b'sheni b'Shabbos. If Purim falls on Monday, so kfarim vayoros read that day. Ma'ishna reisha denokat sidur diyarcha. Our Mishnah doesn't talk about days of the week. It talks about days of the month. It says the 11th of Adar, the 12th of Adar. Well, Ma'ishna say for the Nakat Sidur Diyama, all of a sudden at the end of the Mishnah, they talk about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Because I did the Misafchele Nakat Sidur Diyama, because it follows the right order. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is a Keseder, is a Minyan HaChodesh. But if you're going to go Monday, then you go backwards Thursday, it becomes confusing. So they gave you a straight order 11 through 15. Then later on, they go through the complicated, if it falls on Monday, you got to go backwards that day. If it falls on Tuesday, you got to go backward that day. Otherwise, it would be confusing to the reader. Then, Chalios Be'erev Shabbos. So we say the villagers do it on Thursday. The Ayaras Gedolos Umukavas Chama read that day. So Masnisan Mani, I Rebbe Yosi. What's this? My Rebbe, the Tanya. Chalios Be'erev Shabbos. If Yud Daled Adar falls on Friday, Kfarim Vayoros Gdolos Madimim Liyom HaKnisa. The villagers and the bigger cities actually are magdim one day and read it on the 13th. Umukaf and Choma, which should lay on the 15th, which in this example falls out on Shabbos. You can't read the Megillah on Shabbos. So Mukaf and Choma koin bo bayom. That's how Rebbe learns. Excuse me. That's how the Tanakama learns. Rebbe Oimer Ani lo yidochu ayoros mim koimon. The people in the regular cities do not magdim to Thursday, but they read it on Friday as well. Ela elu ve'elu korim bo bayom. The kfarim are magdim to Thursday, but the cities and the cities surrounded by walls both lane on Friday. Now, my time at the Tanakama, who said that the Ayaras are magdim to Thursday, Dichsiv b'chol shana v'shana. Dichsiv, it says b'chol shana v'shana. My kol shana v'shana, Ayaras koidmas l'mukafin. Every year, the people who live in a city, not a walled city, lane the Megillah prior to people living in walled cities. So Afkan, Ayaros koidmin l'mukafin. So we want to keep that same pattern to have the people of the regular cities lane prior to the Mukafas Chaim. That's why we are magdim from Friday to Thursday for them. That's the Tanakama. Freight the Gemara v'ema b'chol shana v'shana my kol shana v'shana ein nidchim ayaros b'mkomon. But if you're going to learn from shana v'shana, on a regular year, Yud Daled people are not nidche to another date. So Avkan lo yidach layoros bimkoman. So perhaps Shana V'Shana teaches that you don't move those people. Shiny hacha de lo yafshar, but you have no other alternative. If you're going to fulfill the requirement that the people in Nayaros lane a day before the Mukafas Choma, then you got to move it. That's how the Tanna Kama learns. Now, Rebbe learned that you don't move it, that the people in the Mukafas Choma and the Ayaros lane on the same day. Why? Rebbe, my time. He says, B'chol shana v'shana, my kol shana v'shana, ein layaros nitchim koimon. He places preference on the concept that on a regular year, people in cities lane it on the 14th, and they're not pushed away to any date. Avkan, so this year as well, Yud Dalet falls on Friday. It's more important that you don't push Ayaros to a different day than the concept that the Ayaros have to lane a day before the Mukafas Choma. That's how Rebbe sees it. Avkan lo yidoch Ayaros ben koma. Freit the Gemara v'ema b'chol shana v'shana ma kol shana v'shana Ayaros kodim l'mukafin. What about the pattern every year that a regular city lane the day before a walled city? So Avkan nami Ayaros kodim l'mukafin shiny hacha the lo yafshar. Well, if you're going to follow the rule of Ayaros are not nidcha from their makom and from their date ever, you cannot have it this year where they lane prior to the Mukafas Choma. So you can see the machlokas between Rebbe and Rebbe. That's Rebbe versus the Tanna Kama. So we know the sheet of Rebbe. He places more emphasis on lo yudachu mimkoma mimkoma. Now, my Rabbi Yossi, we said our Mishnah could be either Rebbe or Rabbi Yossi. Well, why? What's Rabbi Yossi's shita? The Tanya. Chalayos Be'erev Shabbos, if Yud Dalet falls on a Friday, Mukafim ukfarim magdinim liyom haknisa. Here, Rabbi Yossi says the walled city people, instead, you can't do it on Shabbos, so you don't, but they shouldn't lane on the 14th either. They are magdim to the 13th along with the villagers. Okay. V'ayaras gdoilo is korim bo bayo. They stay on their regular day. Rabbi Yossi Omer, you can never have a situation where the Mukav Choima lanes prior to the Ayaros. They can lane on the same day, but not, you cannot be magdim them. Now, my time at the Tanna Kama, where did the Tanna Kama get this concept that the Mukafas Choma would have to lane on Shabbos? Well, they can't lane on Shabbos. So the Tanna Kama said, you got to move them off of the 14th, the Friday, and move them to Thursday. Where is that from? My kol shana v'shana ayaros bar basar uzmanu shel zeh lo uzmanu shel zeh, because there's another principle here. Ayaros always lane on the 14th. Then we have a concept that the zman of a walled city is always going to be different than the zman of a non-walled city. Well, normally it's a day after, right, on the 15th. But here you can't do it on the 15th because it's Shabbos. We're going to see there's a gzeira derabba that you can't carry the Megillah. You'll come to carry the Megillah. So that's a lo yafshar. So since zmano shel zeh, lo zmano shel zeh, you got to move the mukefes choyma to the day before. That's the Tanna Kama. Avkana yars barbas or zmano shel zeh, lo zmano shel zeh. Freit the Gemara, the ema b'chol shana v'shana. But what about the rule of b'chol shana v'shana? My kol shana v'shana ein mukafin koymin layaros. Mukafes koyma do not precede reading prior to the cities. So avkani mukafin koymin layaros. Well, shani hachad, yeah, but if to fulfill zmano shel zeh is not going to be zmano shel zeh, you have to move it up. That's the Tanna Kama. My time in Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi said, no, leave the Mukefes Choma on the 14th. Don't move it. Because because he follows that principle that Mukefes Choma never lane prior to the big cities. So he laid it on the same day. What about the principle of Zmanu Shel Zeh is not the Zman of this? Afkan Zmanu Shel Zeh lo Zmanu Shel Zeh. Okay. So those are the shitas of Rebbe and Rabbi Yossi. Freit the Gemara v'sover Rabbi Ayoris lo dachin and liyom haknisa. Does Rabbi hold that big cities are never pushed back to Yom HaKnisa Vatanya? I'll show you that he does hold that. Chalayos b'Shabbos. You have Purim that falls on Shabbos. Yud Daled falls on Shabbos. Kfarim Magdim Liyom HaKnisa. Villagers will lay it on the 12th of Adar on Thursday. Hayaras Gedolos, Korin Be'erev Shabbos. A regular unwalled city will lay on Friday. You can't lay the Megillah on Shabbos, so it's got to be Magdim. And then Mukafas Chayma will lay on the 15th, which is Sunday. Lamacha. What does Rabbi hold? Rabbi Omer Ani, Hoil v'nitchu Ayaros b'mkoiman. Since the Ayaros, you can't lay on Shabbos, so they're already being pushed. Yidachol Yom HaKnisa, you should push them also, not just to Friday, you should push them to Thursday. What kind of comparison are you making? Hasam Zmanam Shabbos. That year, if Purim falls on Shabbos, the Zman is Shabbos. V'hoil v'nitchu yitchu. Okay, if you're pushing. But when it comes to V'hacha, when it comes to the case where Yudal falls on Friday, Hacha Zman Erev Shabbos. And it's not, so it's not a problem to lay it on the same day. So Kaman Hazla Hadam Rav Chelba Rav Huna, Purim Shechalios b'Shabbos, Purim that falls on Shabbos, Hakol Nitchin Liyom HaKnisa. Everything is pushed to Thursday. Hakol Nitchin Sal Kedai. What do you mean Hakol? You have Ikka Mukafin the Avdi Lamacha, but the walled cities do it on Sunday. El Kol Nitche Yidach Liyom HaKnisa. Those that are being moved are moved to Thursday. Keman Kerebi. So Shulchan Aruch says, Yom Chamisha Sarba Adar Shechalios b'Shabbos. So if the 15th of Adar falls on Shabbos, so the Mukafas Choma cannot read on Shabbos. A Mukafim Magdimim, you cannot lay in the Megillah after the 15th. The Chazal never made a takana for that. So the Mukafim Magdimim v'korno so be'erev Shabbos. So in Yerushalayim, they lay in the Megillah on Friday. Umechalkin gam matonos laniyim. On that Friday, they also give the matonos laniyim. Uv'yom HaShabbos motzim sefer Torah, nosaf v'korn b'sefer Hasheni parshas vayavo Amalek. You lay in a special maftir on Shabbos vayavo Amalek. V'oimrim ala nisim. And you say ala nisim on that Shabbos. Umishloch monos usudas purim oisim b'yom rishon. Shloch Monos and Sudas Purim, that they do on a Sunday. That's called Purim Mishulash, because the mitzvahs of Purim are pushed over a 3-day period. Some also make a Suda Mishloch Monos on Shabbos as well, and Yom Rishon. That's the Pri Chodesh. Okay. From all of these shitas, it's very clear. 1 second. Kulam Mia Megillah b'Shabbos loy Karina. We don't read Megillah on Shabbos. My time. Amar Rabbah. This is the famous Gzeira de Rabbah. Hakol chayavim b'kriyas Megillah v'tkiyas shofar. Everybody's chayiv to read the Megillah and to blow shofar. And I call b'ki and b'mikra Megillah, but not everybody's baki. So Gzeira Shemiyat Lena b'yado. We're concerned somebody's going to take the Megillah, walk it over to his neighbor expert. He'll end up carrying on Shabbos. Behind the time of the shofar. That's the same reason for shofar. Behind the time of the lulav, and that's the same reason for lulav. That when first day of Sukkot falls on Shabbos, we don't carry the lulav, and when the first day of Rosh Hashanah falls on Shabbos, we don't blow shofar. Rav Yosef Omer mipnei she'eneim shelaniyim nesuas b'mikras Megillah. A different svara. The aniyim are waiting for matanas aniyim. They identify Purim with Mikra Megillah. If we read it on Shabbos, we can't give them money. And the Aniyim become upset. So that's the reason why Rav Yosef gives that we don't read the Megillah on Shabbos. Tanya Mahachi. That means even though the villagers are Magdim Yom HaKnisa, we give the Aniyim money on regular Yudalad Adar. Afal Pisha Amru. So what do you mean Afal Pisha Adar? Mishum da Amruhu. It's because they said the halacha. Elahoil v'Amru. Shekfor Magdim Yom HaKnisa. Goivin bo bayom and Machalkin bo bayom. We still, when they lane the Megillah in the villages, that's when we give the Aniyim money, because they connect the Matonas Laniyim to whenever the Megillah is laned. So if they were Magdim to Yom HaKnisa, that's the day, and they lane the Megillah then, that's the day that they give out the money. When they Sheneim Shlanim, the Sus B'Mikra Megillah. Aval Simcha Eino Hekes Ela B'Zmanu.
Ernie,
Yes.
I'm going to stop and start.
Okay.